Hello, everybody. Thank you for clicking on. It is Doofus After Dark for the 25th day of January, the first month of the year 2023. A little chilly back here. And again, thank you all for clicking on. If you're watching live, thank you. If you are in the chat, thank you. If you are watching at another time, thank you very much. If you're watching from somewhere else other than the United States, greetings and thank you for watching. Hello, Hot Mess Summer, and a very happy birthday to you. I think it's belated birthday. I think it's a day or so ago, but happy birthday. And watching People Win or Fail. Hello. Thank you for being here. Thank all of you, as I've said, for being here. And Cunning Stunt and GA from CA are scheduled to be on here tonight. It's Wednesday night. We'll find out what's been going on. We'll talk about some other things that have been happening around the world, some things that we've already covered on the show that I want to kind of go back and touch base on. Hi, Tammy. Curtis, good to have you here. Thank you for being here. Again, thank you all for clicking on. Speaking of clicking on, a couple of things I want to make you aware of. Number one, Pluck the Patriarchy. We've had Pluck on here before, and Pluck the Patriarchy had a really good stream today, this afternoon, about protesting, about the history of protesting, about how protesting has honestly evolved very, very little from when we were trying to self-determine our freedom, or should we remain colonies of Great Britain back in 1775 and before 1776. Hi, Sissy McLeod. Hi, Trish. CKM. LePreux, Positive Vibes. Thank you all for being here. And I want to cover a couple of things. Pluck had a stream today about protesting, and go check that out after this if you're not doing anything, and if there aren't any other lives up. And when you can, check it out. There's some good information in there from Pluck. And tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that would be 12 Central, 11 Mountain, and 10 Pacific time, on Telescope's channel. Telescope and Buffalo Man are going to have Telescope's going to interview Buffalo Man. They're going to have a conversation over there. And again, that's at Telescope's channel. So a couple of things I wanted to make everybody kind of aware of and make public and kind of point you towards. And I don't know. Lori Arnold's going to be doing a live coming up on Saturday. She's covering an event, and the idea of the idea of drag shows in Texas, I don't know. It just kind of I didn't think Texas was that open-minded. Before all of this, okay, I'm going off what I've seen and what I've heard and what people have told me from Texas. And they're going to have bingo. It's going to be drag show bingo. I don't see how this is going to. It's going to be at a church. And it just floored me. I got caught up in it talking with Lori last night that it's drag show bingo in Texas, drag show bingo in Texas at a church, and all of them together. It was just like, wow. I wouldn't have imagined that happening. So it'll be interesting to see her coverage. And if there are counter protesters there, if it turns out no one is there underage, she's going to go in and check out the bingo show. So I just can't imagine it getting too risque in a church. I can't imagine it getting too risque with it bingo as the theme. But hey, we'll find out. So those are some things coming up that I kind of want to point you to instead of playing a introductory video. I get a lot of email, and I've talked on here before about how people in other countries watch the channel, believe it or not. And I got called out on it and say, hey, show some receipts. So I'm going to briefly just start out with this. And it's not, I'm not doing it to brag. It's not about numbers. It's not anything like that. But these are some of the channels that have restreamed me, and some of the views, 267,000. A channel that's got 1.4 million, 66.7 thousand. A channel's got 3.5. And this is, it goes on and on and on. So, and these are, as you can, the contents they've restreamed of the American Doofus show, or a specific, whoa, wait. Hold on. Sorry about that. I closed the wrong damn window. Wait a minute. Whoa. Okay. Golly. I got to get you. First of all, thank you to everybody that pitched in and got me a new computer. Second of all, have some patience with me while I learn how to do it, because it's totally different than the one I have. And I apologize for that. And I closed the window. I wanted to show you, some of the countries. And one of the emails I got, the people in China really liked Cartoon Rooster Doll, as did my grandkids, by the way. So yeah, I get email from all over the country, and I greatly appreciate it. So if I don't get right back to you, I don't get on there every day like I should and maintain it. It ends up getting overwhelming, and I go through it all. So I just wanted to get all that out there. And yeah, I've been blessed to have been viewed a whole bunch of times. And there's something that kind of comes with that. And I haven't spoken on this. This didn't happen today. This happened last week or the week before last. It was one of the days where it was really unseasonably warm, but it was really windy. And I was walking Doofus Dog on the trail, and we were kind of off the trail as she was looking for a spot to do her business. And somebody called me out by name and said, "Oh my God, Barry." It went just like this. "Oh my God, Barry, can I get a picture with you?" And it was a guy asking, and the guy and the girl, and he said, "We watch you all the time." And it was, I was kind of we got our picture taken the same day. We got our picture taken by two different sets of people. And the first thing that went through my head was, okay, the guy said, Barry, in a positive manner, instead of, "Oh my God, it's you. I want," so there's that. But at the same time, you're all, I'm not used to that happening where I'm at now. Where I was at before, and where I was at before that, I was really well known in those areas. Where I'm at right now, I'm not quite as well known, except by the police department. And that's not because I've done anything bad. It's because I've had some people outside the house. I'm not going to get into that at the moment. I don't want to give them any kind of platform. But it's kind of weird. And it's happened a few times. People starting to recognize me through this platform again. In 2020, it happened. Now here we are, 2023, 3 years later, and things are starting to repeat themselves a little bit in an odd way. I'm going to hop back over. Hot mess Summer. I love you. Summer's going to be Saturday. Summer is going to be, hold on now. because it's not Louisville, because she's got a trap. Bowling Green, I think. One of the police that were involved with the murder of Breonna Taylor has written a book, and he's having a book signing, and she's going to go protest that. So good on her, in my opinion, anyway. And I'm a guy that's written a book, and you can get an autographed copy. All you got to do is email me, americandufus@gmail.com. Anyway, I got to give a tip of the hat to this next story. You see her sometime in our chats, and you see her in a lot of other chats. Max Flower turned me on to this story today. And thank you, Max. People's Convoy trucker protest movement says it has been taken over by text message scammers. So I know there are some people in here that are familiar with the People's Convoy, and some more so than others. But last year's trucker convoy protests threatened to storm into the nation's capital, but ended with a whimper in May as the group disbanded amid intense infighting. However, in recent days, the movement was reawakened by text message scammers calling for the truckers to join a multi-level marketing scheme. And this comes from TPM, that's Talking Points Memo, very legitimate media site. So there, as we always do, we just giving you some things to think about. And why don't we just keep rolling on? I'll get back over here to the chat in just a couple of minutes. Yesterday was Science Tuesday, and we try to do Science Tuesday weekly, but this came today, actually 8 hours ago. So instead of holding it until next Tuesday, I'm going to go ahead and share it with you now. A man shows, quote, UFO ball, end quote, he claims fell from the sky. And a strange ball of metal and ice seems to have fallen in the man's backyard. And he turned to the internet to ask, what is this? The large unnatural spherical object seems to be over a foot in diameter, embedded more than halfway in the ground, with perimeters of dirt, giving the impression of an impact. An impact in the, I don't know, I had too many fingers on one spot or something. Solid ice and metal fused together in nearly perfect sphere. So let's take a look at this. If I can figure out how to do that. There we go. And there's the sphere. He then shows the area above is clear sky with nothing that is strange object could have fallen from, and then pans around to show his front yard looking otherwise normal. And we have a related video. Turkey UFO shaped lens cloud spotted over the sky of Bursa. So, yeah. A couple of sciencey things a day late, just because I didn't, who knows what's going to be happening between now and next Tuesday. Okay, Hot Mess Summer, the information for what Summer's doing is on her community page, her Cashapp, $ Hot Mess, real talk. And I told y'all that she was a real one. I wasn't kidding. So let's get to our breaking news here, because hopefully, I haven't seen them in the chat yet, but hopefully GA from CA and Cunning Stunt will be here. If not, I've got enough stuff, and we'll talk some stuff in the chat. Our top stories, according to mainstream media: CNBC, Ukraine war, live update, U.S. and Germany to send tanks to Ukraine, and Russia is not happy. New York Times, Newport News School was warned 3 times that the 6-year-old had a gun. According to NPR, National Public Radio, Speaker Kevin McCarthy blocked 2 Democrats from serving. We had that story last night. CNN, 5 shootings in California, Iowa, and Washington leave 24 dead as America grapples with its guns. CNN, Clinton, Obama, and both Bushes turned over all of their classified records. So I'm assuming Jimmy Carter probably did too. And I would guess Ron Reagan probably did, or we'd be hearing about that. But nonetheless, Bill Clinton, I'm Bill Clinton. Clinton, Obama, and both Bushes turned over all their classified records. Fox News, Florida police, state attorney announced arrest in the murder of the Microsoft executive down there in Florida. And let me hop back over here into the chat just for a minute, say hi to anybody I might have missed. Always be kind. Lonnie, there's Cunning Stunt. And Arden CC, thank you for being here. All right. I know at least one of the absolute greatest duo in internet history. At least one of them's here. Of course, I'm talking about Cunning Stunt and GA from CA, coming live right up here on the Big Show. In the meantime, where is, there we go. This headline, House Republicans prep for civil war over cuts to Social Security and Medicare, saying the numbers can't work without the cuts to those 2 safety nets. And as I've often said on here, Social Security is our money. And it has nothing to do with the budget. Whoa, 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 wait, whoa, hold on. Wait, where is that coming from? Hang on. I got to find this. What the heck? All right. That ain't it. This is crazy. It's some. Okay, I don't know where this is coming from. Let's see. Okay, this is weird. This is weird. Okay, it's not that. Okay, it's not that. This is what we want. Okay, hang on. There we go. All right. I don't know where all that other stuff was coming from, to be honest with you. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, first thing, when something like that happens, first thing I think of automatically is, okay, how did they get through my security and who is controlling my show? What that was about is this story right here. I'm not going to play the video because I don't know what all that other audio was. What to know about the suspected Russian spy ship seen near Hawaii. This comes from, this is from January 20, so just a few days back. And this does come from Stars and Stripes, military newspaper, website now. And there's been a Russian ship, Russian spy ship around Hawaii, in the area of Hawaii for quite some time. it's getting closer, and it's now drawing attention, and so much so that Stars and Stripes needs to put an article out about it. Okay, that we're just giving you something to think about. I had another. There's a warship. There's a Russian warship that we are tracking that is steaming towards Hawaii, and I accidentally closed that article trying to find where the other audio is coming from. So let me just run through the rest of this real quick here, and then we'll get Cunning Stunt and GA from CA up. A lot of Trump news. And this is Trump and his team are surprised that no donors are showing up to his fundraising events. Trump is having difficulty in the early days of his campaign, apparently. And those are not my words. Those are the words of that media site. Does that say something? I don't know. I think it will probably change. I imagine he's going to have more than enough funding. School board out superintendent after child allegedly shot teacher. Again, this is from, I didn't want to do that. This thing is touchy, my gosh. Come on, go. I want to go back. There we go. Adam Scott confronts Boy Meets World cast member about being snubbed on the set. You know, that's some high class news there, CNN. Biden, there's no offensive threat. Germany and U.S. announced plans to send to Ukraine, as we just said. The Russian response, good buddy Mike Pence had some documents in his house here in Indiana. And that makes it a story when other politicians didn't do that. We're going to check and see what Fox News has to say here, hopefully. Okay, that's not what I wanted. All right, we'll check Fox News out tomorrow night. I want to end with this story before we have some fun, a rather serious story about Tyree Nichols. I touched on this the past couple of nights. Are we showing the right one here? No. My apologies there. I hope that didn't show up. A pop-up ad came up. Graphic video shows the heinous beating of Tyree Nichols by Memphis officers. Family of Tyree Nichols, the man who died days after a confrontation with Memphis police, spoke yesterday for the first time, sensing footage from the event that led to his death. The family retained civil rights attorney Ben Crump. Name probably sounds familiar to a lot of you. And attorney Antonio Romanucci to represent them following Nichols' death. Family members and attorneys got the chance to review the footage Monday before it was publicly released. They also met with Memphis police. Crump said Nichols' mother was unable to sit through more than a minute of the video. In the first minute, Tyree asked police officers, "What did I do?" He was arrested for reckless driving and ended up getting beat so bad that he died 2 days later. And I'm not going to be playing that video. Okay. But this is obviously a situation where police action, the 5 officers have been fired. All 5 of the officers were black, as a as the victim was also a member of the Black community. So when there is I want everybody to hear that, because when there is unrest in that area, it's not about racism. It's about justice. It's about freedom. It's about the ability to drive in your car as a member of the Black community without being targeted just because you're a member of the Black community. All right. There we go. GA from CA and Cunning are both here. Let's get those ladies up here. And in the meantime, anybody has any questions or anything you want me to touch on as we are as I'm trying to get this put in there. There we go. Drop it in the chat real quick. And before we get the ladies up here, and I'll answer a question or two or comment on something. Hi, Lolo. Hello, Telescope. Telescope, I hope you're enjoying your evening out on the town. And I have indeed been working on the lyrics, Telescope, that we were talking about. I'm thinking of something along the lines of her hoo-ha, her tight white hoo-ha, she likes giant peni, something along those lines. Okay. Now you got to envision hearing that with doom metal going on behind it. And it will be an epic live stream that night. We're going to be doing it as part of a celebration. We're going to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the TPC, the People's Convoy story we did earlier in the episode here. That same group, and while they ended with a whimper, as the Talking Point Memo article said, they also spawned 1776 restoration movement, and thus their opposition, which we have been covering and continue to cover, and we will be doing that. My fault, ladies. I'm sitting there stalling, waiting for them, and I didn't hit the send button so that the link would be up there. That's what people don't understand. This is summer. That's what people don't understand. They sit there and think it's a race issue. It's about power and control. Don't give a F what color cop is. Don't use your power and control to kill people. Let me make sure we are set up right. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm an old person apparently now. I laid down and fell asleep, and Cunning was freaking out because I didn't wake up till 10 after 7.
So what, you have like the 4:30 buffet and it, you know?
No. New meds are making me sleepy these days, so I'm trying to get used to them, and it gives me 5 hours sleep and 15-hour hangover. It's
there
fun.
We go. Hello, Cunning.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. So a 5-hour sleep
and a 10 or 15-hour hangover afterwards. I feel like I can't keep my eyes open. It's horrible.
Well, why don't you sleep for like 10 hours then?
Well, because I can't. My body won't let me. My body is insane. It's trying to catch up with my mind there, you know?
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
It's for insomnia, so it's not working. It's not working.
So, Cunning Stunt, you're supposed to have the note cards this time. And
yeah, well,
oops.
Well,
Georgia has those.
See, what had happened was
what happened was she slipped and fell into a bowl.
Well, listen, I did watch
Okay.
the David Riddell video. So
Yes. She felt
that
so
was a
bad.
buzzkill.
She
It
felt
was
so
a
bad.
total.
We were supposed to talk at 4 and go. We had this great plan, because usually about 6 o'clock we go, oh shit, today's Wednesday. And we had this great plan. We were going to talk at 4, and somebody else took a nap too. And so
Yeah.
to make it up to me,
Yeah.
to make it up to me, she was the one that had to listen to Convoy Santa today. So
It was only fair.
She
It
took
was
one for the
fair.
team tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. Total buzzkill. If you ever need to sober up fast,
Watch Santa.
go watch Convoy Santa. It works. It does.
So
Yeah.
what's he
Lord.
saying? What's he saying?
Well, what was the what was the term he used, Georgia?
I didn't watch that shit. You were watching
No,
it.
you didn't. No, I mean it was. They quoted it on Twitter when they.
Oh,
I think he said something like "embrace the suck."
Embrace the suck. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and that pretty much sums it up, I would think. But he. Okay. Here's the thing. It was a 2-hour long live that he did a couple of days ago.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, about
And
embracing the suck.
well, I think it wasn't about that, but it was. He
really
said that
did.
during
He got
it. That's what he does. That's what he does.
He started talking, and he was listening to himself, and he's going, "Oh my gosh, this is absolute. This sucks. We have nothing. Embrace the suck."
Exactly. It was 2 hours of him embracing the suck, is what it was,
And I got to say, I got to clarify here. This has nothing to do with Naughty Aubrey and
no, it does not.
Okay, this is just
no.
This is the fact the movement sucks, and you got to embrace it.
No,
it's so funny that you have to say that.
Or drink the Kool-Aid.
Wasn't it more you got to give shit up, kind of, Michelle?
Well, this one, yeah, I mean, this one was like 2 hours of him more or less preaching his beliefs, his religious beliefs. He started out by talking about complaining about his job and the trucking industry.
Right.
And he did say that the trucking industry is definitely under attack. He didn't say by who. So we're not sure yet. It's probably the government and the church, the modern day church, I'm thinking, because that's also that's what their problem is, he said.
Right.
Well, so he said that the industry's under attack, and he did say that he's making $3,000 to $4,000 per week less than he's used to. I thought that was kind of interesting.
So he's making $3,000 or $4,000 less driving a truck than when he was sitting in a lawn chair?
No.
Than
less than
when he was
previously.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. He probably made way
I didn't
more.
say that joking. I was serious.
I know, right?
No, yeah, they were definitely pulling in more than 3 or 4 a week in 1776. But that's one of our stories tonight too. But go
For
on
sure, yeah, they were. He reiterated that 76 has 2 grievances. One is against the government, and one is against the modern day church.
Here we go with that black robe shit.
Yeah, then I literally wrote in my notes, blah, blah, preach, blah, hypocrite, blah, blah, blah. So that's what that was about. Sorry.
I think I did that last week.
I did.
Were you in my government class in high school?
I taught it, honey. I taught it.
No, that's what I'm saying. I taught government. I taught government. So
it sounds like I took it. No, I was not.
Okay.
I promise.
All right. Okay. All right.
Boy, I'm a great comedian, aren't I?
Yes, you are. People love you. The chat, everybody in the chat's like, we love these ladies.
They love us or they love to hate
They
us,
do.
one or
They
the
love.
other, and I'm glad. Now,
All
he
right.
did get into, if for some reason he got off on the track of men cheating and pleasing their women and sex and stuff
Oh
like that,
God.
and I can't talk about it. Sorry. And but he did manage in there somehow to compare childbirth to kidney stones, and again for the 147th time mentioned that he's had either 3 or 4 kidney stones. He can't
Gosh,
remember exactly, but just so y'all
I'm
know,
so
if you
glad you
didn't
shared
know.
that.
Yeah. So he also mentioned that the Republican Party is evil, just so y'all know.
The Republican
So
Party.
yes, the Republican Party. He said we already know
Interesting.
that the other side is evil.
I was going to
He's
say,
now saying
what's that
the
make the
Republican Party
Democrats
is
then?
evil.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
well, it makes them more evil, probably in
Yeah.
his eyes, I would say.
Okay.
But so now he's convinced that the Republican Party is evil. So he may be starting his own party. I don't know. Who
Oh,
knows?
I
Yeah.
saw a clip, and maybe you can tell me what it was about. It was something about there's only 2 pleasures that God's given us in life: food and sex. Is that what he
Yes.
said?
Yes. Yes.
Why?
He did. That's well.
And then he says, "Embrace the suck." What?
That goes right. No,
Either you're
I mean that's how he
sucking
got
food
on
through
the
a straw, or
or I think he was
or the
referring
other
to
side.
sucking it. No, he was referring to sucking the food out of your beard. I'm pretty sure, but
Oh my.
Oh God.
anyway, cringe. But yeah, that's how he got on the subject of childbirth. Was that, Georgia? Because I guess he was talking about how if sex were as painful as childbirth, we would have died out. And so that's why sex is so pleasurable. So I really don't want
Christ
to.
on a cracker! Are you kidding me?
I'm so serious. And then I did notice, just as a kind of a side note, and not even really that important, but it's interesting to me that the necro squirrels, especially Red and some of the others, were in the chat with Santa and totally welcomed. Just so you know, just further proof
Oh,
that they have melded together.
I thought I heard Red got booted, but that's interesting.
He may have, but I didn't. I didn't pick that up during my listening time or
Interesting.
making myself watch the chat.
That's what you get now. Now you'll be on time for the rest of the year, right?
I promise I will. Yes, I'll be responsible. Oh my God, no!
I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a moment.
I don't believe it for a minute.
You know what? I'm lying. I'm completely lying. I'll try.
I knew we were in trouble. Anything else on him?
Nothing. Oh, I just dropped you out of my ears. Sorry.
Hello.
Okay. Nothing else. Sorry, y'all. Nothing else on him, but kind of related to that. And kind of related to the whole Red, the necro squirrels and everything. And more backup that they've melded, and they are the same. They are now the Ped Necro cult. Because where else can you go from Peds and Ped supporters? Like, you got to embrace the Necro too.
And if you're a supporter and you want to watch something, pretty much Red is your option, other than Mags, once a week, right?
Once in a while, yeah. And Convoy Santa once in a while. There's really not. There's nothing left to watch.
Like
there's Frankie Bobby, and he's at the Q camp, and
I can watch J-Met do crafts, or I can watch Lori at a protest, or I can watch Ant dress up as a king. But with the other side, oh, I got it. It's on my list.
Okay, we're gonna get there.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. But there's not a lot of options for
there aren't
side,
any, yeah.
That aren't vile, and it's yeah. So tonight at J6, our aunt was gifted a king's robe. Think about like the lion in The Wizard of Oz. You know, the robe and and
the
I
crown and
expected
the
him to start
robe.
out with "If I
That's
were
what I was about to
king
do.
of the
That's what I was,
forest." Yeah.
that's what I was about to
Got a
do.
couple of pictures. They're on Twitter. And then
He didn't
regrettably,
scream. He didn't scream.
he had to leave us in his car to charge. So we had to go to the opposition stream, which was pretty funny because you couldn't hear their stream. All you could hear was ants on the megaphone in the background. So it was pretty damn funny. And he didn't stay too long. He, pranced around in his king outfit. And
Did they show him?
yeah,
Or
you
did
can see him.
Or did he
You can
show
see him.
himself or
No,
anything?
they tried not to, but that Rebecca got him in the beginning and she posted something. It's the translation is funny when you go from Chinese to English. And
Oh yeah.
so
Oh, I've been getting emails from China, and it's like, here's the actual email and then translation provided by, and yeah, it's crazy.
So it was pretty freaking hysterical. And she took a picture of him walking in and yelling on the megaphone. And so we did get to see him. But the funniest thing was watching, the Chud streamers, and they're so mad. They're so mad that he can come up there and yell through a megaphone and not go to jail. They don't understand it. That's not protesting. That's not protesting. That's harassing.
Yeah, a bunch of us did go over to her live stream just to show her support. I know there were a lot of Rebecca, that she's a Chinese American. Is that
okay? All right.
I believe. Yeah. Is that right?
I didn't know that's why we were going over there. Sorry. I was not showing support.
Yeah, I was showing, what I put in the chat was in all caps, "Thank God for DOA and free speech. Am I right? God bless America." I immediately got blocked. I couldn't believe it. I just got blocked.
I just put crowns and ants and I didn't get blocked.
Oh, see, I shouldn't have put words.
Yeah, maybe they didn't understand it. So that was tonight, and
just stay with symbols. Yeah. All right.
Go
ahead.
Can I just say he is the king of content? Just had to say that.
He's so freaking funny. He's freaking hilarious, and he's happier. He's happier these days. And I'm not going to tell why. So he's happier. There is a 1776 seminar and rally coming up tomorrow in North Carolina, which is pretty funny because these are the people that had the 5 or 6 person protest in front of a Burger King parking lot last week. I don't know if you saw that, but they held signs and flags, and there were like 5 or 6 people, and it was pretty amusing. And they're having a seminar. So I'm sorry, Friday, not tomorrow. Friday in something North Carolina. I can't remember. It's some Bryson. It's some small city. Yeah, exactly. And maybe just maybe the hayseeds will show up. I don't know. Yeah. So, and they have a very fancy, if you look on Twitter, there's a very fancy video with pictures of Naughty Aubrey and Big D and a big old pamphlet that you can't read. And yeah, so that's happening. And then I happened to find this happened last weekend in New Jersey, and I don't know if it was their event, but Soup Mama was there, and it was a flag wave on such and such a corner in Sparta, New Jersey. And there were, she said, they are dominating this corner, and there were literally 3 people on 2 corners, is what I saw.
Was one of them Dom?
I did not see Dom.
They had an official flag wave, and Dom didn't show up.
I know, seriously, seriously. I did not see him, but I could only watch about 45 seconds of the video too. So
yeah, I'm getting to about the 30-second point. I can
Yeah,
watch
my
about 30
tolerance,
seconds of one of
my
their
For
tolerance
sure,
videos.
level,
yeah.
It's
my
like,
tolerance levels in the toilet. And on the travel side, their Indiana Bob is hitting up Mags and I guess his own chat to try to get money. You know, he's out on the road, 25 to 30 cities. He's promoting the Give Send Go because there's, you know, just not enough money to do what he wanted to do.
yeah,
Said he's headed to Texas.
the Bob tour.
The Bob tour.
Yeah.
And God willing and funds provided, he said. So, yeah. And
That's a
Indiana
great
Bob,
combo.
Indiana Bob and the quest for the 1776 movement.
right.
Crystal
He says
Skull.
he said he's, quote, meeting people that sign up and also meeting new people. I don't know what that means. There were no numbers given, but that's what he said. And it appears that our friend Mags is attempting to, what it looks to me like he's attempting to make a living on YouTube. He's given up on work
Sorry.
altogether.
Good
Shut
luck.
up. Given up, yeah,
Good
given up
luck.
on work altogether, and has you know, he has like a Tuesday night show, and there's a podcast, and it's
He's probably making bank modding for the necro squirrels too. I would imagine.
That's true. Yeah. He is over there. I won't talk about them except to say that I had to pour bleach in my eyes last night after Red put on a pair of Melanie's leggings and bent over to show his ass to the camera for a very long time.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, and I, you know, I have a question. Here's my question.
Oh.
For you, Doofus.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
I know. You got
a mess. He's got a
trash
mess. Hold
can?
on.
Pot pie. Was that your question? What did I have for dinner? Pot pie.
I'm trying
joking. Okay.
I'm trying to figure something out. And
well, I got your answer.
What is Red's live stream for? Like, I know what Mags thinks he's doing. Mags is all 1776, right? And Red says he's 1776, but it's nothing about a freedom movement. It's about making fun of people or being vile, or I don't see a freedom movement. I don't understand why he's there.
The only time I actually hear anything from that side at all is either if Telescope or Rooster or somebody else is replaying them. But every time I hear it, it's vile and
the only thing that leads me to conclude is it's all about the grift. It's all about what kind of money they're getting, because they call themselves a freedom family, and I don't. It's just like 1776. Like, especially when they were in DC, I kept saying, "Well, are they meeting with Congress people? Are they headed to? You know, are they talking to senators? What are they? Surely they're not just going to sit in lawn chairs in the National Mall.
Are. They're going to sit in lawn chairs, and don't call me Shirley.
Exactly. Picked a bad week to quit cocaine.
Sniffing glue.
Yep. So
I mean, maybe you just answered your own question.
For those that don't know, we're referencing a movie called Airplane from the 1970s.
Airplane, yeah, sorry.
And Leslie Nielsen was trying to. He was
quitting everything.
He was air traffic control, and he was trying to quit sniffing glue and snorting cocaine and
drinking.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah. But I just don't understand, you know.
Do you like gladiator movies?
I gotta watch that
I'm
movie
sorry.
again.
All right. Okay. All right.
I just don't understand, what they're doing anymore. I never understood what Red was doing. I don't think there's an answer to that except money. But 1776, you got a problem with the government. Aren't you trying to come up with solutions to fix those problems? What? I don't get it. Am I just being really thick?
Here's the thought. Regarding Red Squirrel, I've seen a transformation in him,
I know.
unlike anybody else
Me too.
involved in this saga, including people in just not just chatters, but including people in the chats.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen some little transformations here and there, but nothing like what.
Maybe he's a distraction.
That is one possibility. Maybe he's just evil. Maybe he's
just vile.
Maybe he's just evil.
I think that's it. And I think it's kind of indicative of the people in that movement and the people that support Red are in his chat. I think that's what it is. It's a bunch of evil people that have found each other, and they're just doing what they love, which is spreading hate, lies, and just being evil.
Every day on this show, I show people that are evil and have done and are doing evil things. Why should we be surprised if they start coercing? If they start coming together. Could that be what's happening? Yeah, it's a possibility. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they're all evil.
Yeah.
But I'm saying we got to consider that as an option.
Yeah, we've got to, I'd like to be realistic and give somebody the benefit of the doubt. And I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about, if there's 300 people there, if there's a God in heaven, could 30 of them be normal and not hateful?
As far as numbers go, we got to always remember that half the people watching, we got, we do our stuff here. We have maybe 25, 30 people that are in the chat, and they run the chat, and we got maybe another 100 people that are watching and restreaming, and a lot of them are just watching for negative purposes.
Yeah, hate watching.
Hate watching. So the same thing's going to apply over there. There are a lot of people watching him simply because they hate him, and they only stay there for 35 or 40 seconds, or I'm exaggerating, but it's not like he's getting he may be getting a lot of views, but he's not getting consistent viewership. He's not getting people watching for an hour, 2 hours at a time, in significant numbers, and he has the same. And that's a big difference.
I mean, it's the same group, that chat that are there actually to support and give them money and chat. It's the same ones. I mean, it's a scary large group for that many evil people in one place, but at least we know where they are, kind of. I guess. I don't know.
And it's I was listening to a sports podcast, and the guy on the sports podcast was saying the same thing I just said. He said, you got to realize half the people watching us hate us,
Right.
And he said, hate sells.
Yeah. Anger, outrage.
That's true. Yeah.
Revenge.
Unfortunately, that's true. Yeah.
So, when you're looking at your entertainment, your forms of entertainment, if you're somebody that is hateful and you want to see somebody else be hateful,
I guess
you go there. Or if you feel bad about yourself and you want to feel better about yourself, you go there and make fun and elevate yourself, or whatever. But nonetheless, we can't discount the fact that there may be some really evil people there.
Well, and that's fine, keep them all in one place if we have to, but are they capable of action as well as just running their mouths? That's what worries me. So, I had a couple of other, member observations.
Okay.
Buffalo man and his wife got trashed and became red in Red's chat last week. Ripped Lisa Hurley to shreds again because that's what
Yeah.
those people do.
Yeah, on his panel. Yeah.
Yeah, we played that. G Abbott was on here Monday night.
That was horrible.
And that was in one of G Abbott's videos, and we played that and discussed that. Yeah, that was.
What does Billy call himself? Yellow jacket? I don't know. Anyway,
Yellow belly.
Is that Billy? Yellow jacket is Billy? Because I've had some messages.
What does the other one call himself? Cunning, the one that goes to the vigil. That David. What does he call him? Yellow.
Oh, Freedom Express.
Yeah, he's a yellow something too. And
yellow. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
yellow
Billy's
something.
Married.
I don't.
Anybody know
Yellow
that?
snow.
Billy's married.
Yellow snow.
Billy's married. I don't know if Crystal is aware of that, but Billy's married. Crystal put some new online threats up this week.
Crystal put up.
Oh yeah, Yellow Sizzler. That's
Yellow
David's
Sizzler.
name.
That's David.
That's right. Thanks, y'all.
Yeah.
Yellow Sizzler.
Sizzler. Yeah, he's the one that was at J6 and hasn't been caught yet, or he's a CI. One or the other.
Yeah, it's his favorite restaurant, so he added it into his name.
Yeah. Just be careful where the Huskies go and don't eat the yellow snow.
Sizzler, yeah.
I listened to Zappa.
Yeah, you do. That was awesome.
The March for Life was last week. Ron J. Spike got arrested while Glory B was blaming AP, who wasn't near Ron J. Spike when he got arrested. But I thought that was interesting. Brian Betancourt, who is a J6er who's been in jail already, assaulted AP in Union Station.
For real?
She was filming it, and he went up and smashed her camera into her face.
Is she doing something about it?
I don't know. I
think he tried to grab her phone.
Yeah, I think she tried to report it to a cop who basically ignored her, but I'm not sure. Okay,
she did.
Yeah. One of the other peds, Frank Ledford, did a quick video that he had been, quote, trespassed by a elementary school, and he was going to be requesting police officers' body cam footage. And my question to that is, what is a level 3 sex offender doing near a school, even if it's for a school board meeting? What make it make sense? I don't understand.
Where's this? Do we know where this is at? Because
he's in Oregon.
Okay, because maybe they don't know about his history, and maybe they should.
They have to. It's bad.
Well, they'll know now.
Right. And maybe that's why he was trespassed. I don't know. But my first thought was, what the hell is he doing near a school? Then he was
trespassed for speaking out at the school board, and he got out of control. So.
Oh, got it.
Is what I read.
Surprise.
Right.
The other thing on Twitter this week was the 1776 balance sheet for December came out finally. I think at the end of the month they had $900, if I'm not mistaken. It was not thousands like it has been before. Somebody on Twitter posted it. Did you send that to Barry?
Oh, I thought you did. I'm sorry, hon. I thought
somebody
you did.
on Twitter posted like November up against December. And I know that there was a their finances have like
gone
underground. Yeah, plus they spent $3,000 on legal fees, which is basically getting ROs against people they haven't seen in 5 fucking months.
What a great strategy,
Seriously.
to derail a movement, to get
Right.
them so fixated
Yep.
on a half a dozen people
Seriously.
that they lose track of what their mission might have been
Right.
because
The
of a
core of that
handful
group
of
is 4 people alone. 4 people.
yeah.
You know, what did it gain them to focus everything on them? It's
And those same 4 people are now they're still doing their own things,
right, exactly.
and the movement has been basically derailed. It's becoming defunded, and
We'll have to keep an eye on them with these little rallies and seminars that they throw. They may get lucky at some point and pick up some people, you know.
mhm.
I've always felt like they were done. I felt like that for a long time, but that we couldn't take our eyes off of them just in case.
Right. And you know, while it is true they may get lucky and stumble upon, a group of people that joins them, and suddenly their 30 becomes 60.
Right,
There's also the possibility that they get unlucky and
right,
somebody connected to them gets arrested and
correct.
starts dropping dimes.
Right,
I would say
right.
that's going to be their biggest concern.
They oh crap, that just went, you'd think I was the one smoking. That just went right out of my head. I forgot what I was going to say.
What are you smoking?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Nicotine.
Nicotine?
I don't smoke anything.
You have chud brain.
I do. I have chud brain from tonight and half a nap, like a 15-minute nap. My brain went, oh, nice. But yeah, they're, and think about it. So they go around, let's say Traveling Bob goes around to these 10 or 15 or 6 or 2 states, because I think he hasn't left the first one yet, and picks up 60 or 70 people. There's something that's always resonated with me about the people, the extremists that say we're the silent majority. They are not silent. They are really, really loud, which makes people forget that this is not half of the country that feels that way. These people are the, what, 1% of the other half? I mean,
Yeah.
like 3%, is that what they're hoping? They can't even get to 3%. I mean,
maybe 30% of the Republican Party. Okay.
Right.
The
Right.
Republican Party is about 30% of the country. So 30% of the country, 30% of that 30% might be Trump supporters. As far as radical that are going to come out
Right.
and actually be dangerous, I'm guessing maybe 3 to 4 to 5%.
I was kind of blown away today. I don't watch the Chud streams, and we had to because we wanted to see Ant, and he didn't take us with him. And I was in Chud Troopers chat, and somebody came in, a woman who was very excited that Facebook had finally reported that Donald Trump was the true president of the United States. And she shared that article with everyone she knew. I'm so glad the world has finally caught up, she says. And I'm like,
there is no way
there
that's
are
true.
still people. There are still people that think that.
Trump was
Seriously?
reinstated. Trump was reinstated today to Facebook by
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So
Meta,
they
the
think
company.
he's the real president because he's the king of Facebook. Give me a freaking break. Yeah, so you can't think that, that's the other thing. There is another tiny percentage of these people within this tiny group that are still Q nuts, is what I call them. They're still throwing around the shit that you just go, what?
Yeah.
That was more mainstream 6 months ago or a year ago than it is now. But there's still people out there, and the fact that I saw that in his chat tonight, I was like, I don't know if there's any hope for this country
I
when there's
know.
still people that think he was still president.
And you mentioned that they try to frame it as half of the country believes he's president, and
Bullshit. Yeah.
it's just it's not true.
Right. And
But they base their actions, their words, everything upon those facts that are not facts.
right.
They don't understand how potentially isolated they might actually be if they decide to do
Right.
something incredibly stupid.
Right. I mean, the government that they hate is going to step on them like they're ants. I mean, come on.
And they're going to step on all of our rights
Right.
because of
Exactly.
them.
Yeah, they think they don't
know?
have rights now. If they decide to, rebel against the government, fuck that. We're all shut down.
Yeah.
But Cunning and I were talking earlier today, and it's we're Michelle, you can help me with this. God dang it.
Okay.
Well, we were talking about how if your movement is against the government, and they 1776 likes to say we're not right, we're not left, bullshit. Okay, but if your movement is against the government, who is it that's supposed to stand up against the government? It's we the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
We the people are the only way. Whether what left, right, extreme, center, whatever, independent, progressive, we the people are the only ones that can do anything about it. So where we don't agree on we don't agree on the actual problems, we don't agree on solutions, we don't agree on this and that. Again, like I said last week, I don't know a lefty or whatever you want to call a Democrat that likes the government either. It's all too big. Say that right there. That's one thing that both sides can agree on. The federal government is too freaking big. Okay. But you would think that would be something that would bring we the people together. But this other side seems to be wanting to make the left into the enemy as if we were the government.
Yeah. If they do kick off, it's going to be they are on a holy and righteous crusade, and
exactly.
they are so outnumbered that
right.
that everybody else but them is an enemy.
Right. Right.
And without realizing how isolated and how quickly you're going to get stomped out.
Right. And then they'll go after people, not the government.
Right.
They'll go after their perceived enemies, which is the left and the government. But they won't be able to go after the government because it's too fucking big.
The government.
Right.
Right.
So what's our redress when we're not happy with our representatives or our local, federal, state? It's not a simple thing. It is the thing, and that's freaking voting, and not enough people do it. Period. If everybody,
that's the only way. Armed rebellion, even talking of armed rebellion is treasonous to the United States.
Right.
And
if you really
the only way we change it is by voting.
Yep. And people think that, well, I'm not going to vote. No, it does matter. The more people that vote, the more it makes a difference.
Politicians do not want people to vote. Politicians want as few voters as possible, because it's all about convincing people. And the fewer people that are partaking, the fewer you have to convince. The weaker you can be as a human being and still be successful.
And the more you can say, oh, we're okay, we're fine. We're fine. Remember that bridge we built in your city last year? You're okay over here. you're all right over there. They can, all their little groups. I've always thought that in my perfect world of politics, politicians would have to would listen to the bills, the laws that are put up, and let's say they listen to 6 issues, right, in Washington. Then they all go home, right, and while they're home, they hold town halls all across their state, and they're not allowed to vote until people are allowed to hear the issues, including the pork, the bullshit, all of it, and then you take a consensus, not a vote, but you take a consensus of what your constituents want, and you go back and vote accordingly, whether you're Democrat or Republican. That's representation. And nobody does that.
Well, that's how it used to be done because that's how it had to be done. Nowadays, it is about emails and about phone calls.
Yep. Who can get what from whom?
It used to be letters, but now it's emails and phone calls. And the politicians are so detached from actual real people. They don't care about the phone calls. They don't care about the emails.
So, the all of this, like I think of Red's chat as a distraction. It's all a distraction. Anything extreme, shut up and vote.
And it's a way to divide. If we're afraid of whatever, something huge that looms in the distance, and if we're all mad at each other, then we're not going to be paying attention to what they're all doing or not doing, and we're busy. We're busy with each other. We need to come together somewhere in the middle. Like we do.
And I don't even think that. I think, that would be great. I don't see that happening. But how about everybody on both sides goes out and registers 10,000 people to vote and gets them there? And I know there's a lot of people that can't vote, that there's a lot of things that are fucked up about our voting system. But if you have grievances, the more of us that vote, the more likely we're going to start to get what we want. Period. What's the percentage of people in this country that vote?
The biggest voting bloc are people that do not vote.
Right.
By far.
Right.
Oh, wow. Right. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't?
My mind is blown.
It's ridiculously low.
In some states, the voter turnout is 20 to 30%. So that means
wow.
Yeah, that means 70 to 80% of the people are not voting.
And then if you look at the groups that are voting, luckily in the last couple of years, the number is going younger. But from what I seem to remember from the midterms, and correct me if I'm wrong, there was a big chunk of 18 to 35, but there's also a big group in my age group that they're typically, there were more, I think.
Yeah.
And getting the younger people, running and involved and voting is the way to go. And if you look at what I think it was Georgia, Stacey Abrams' group and a bunch of other groups on the ground hit the ground in Georgia. And that's why those votes were, that vote was so consequential. They literally knocked on tens of thousands of doors and talked to people about voting and why they should vote and where they vote and this and that, and we don't care what you vote. We just need you to vote. Right. And if campaigning were handled like that all over the country, then it would be a different story.
But the way it's campaigning, you don't have to campaign once you win because everything is gerrymandered to the
well,
to the point
do you
where
see
you
don't
have competition.
Baby said in the chat.
I haven't been watching the chat.
Oh, sorry.
Politicians,
She said politicians spend most of their time campaigning, not governing.
Right. Right.
And that
Actually, they
is the
spend most
problem.
of their time. Actually, if you're a member of Congress, if you are in the House of Representatives,
Right.
the majority of your time is spent on the phone raising money. You need to
Right.
raise
Yep.
about $200,000 a week in
Oh
order
my
to
God.
because
What the hell?
because part of the money that you raise has to go to the Democratic Congressional Committee, the DCCC, not to
Right.
your own personal campaign. It has to
Right.
go to the party first.
Right.
You
Then your
have
campaign, then I imagine your staff.
well, your office, your staff, those things are a separate budget.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Okay.
you get an office budget, you get a salary, you get your
Oh, got it.
benefits,
Okay.
and then you've got the campaigns are separate, and
But I mean,
you have what basically is a dues. You have to pay dues to the
right,
party,
right, right.
and you have to raise it was $235,000 when I ran back in 2006.
Oh my,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
It's
So-
probably it's probably a $500,000.
Talk
now.
about a grift.
It's a major
Yeah.
I mean,
grift. It
go
is
govern.
a major grift. Yeah.
God, that's
Yeah.
sickening.
So voting can handle all of those issues. Everything we have a problem with, gerrymandering, the fact that they have to raise this amount of money, you can put caps on it, getting I mean, they're every single thing we have a problem with can be solved by voting
It could be.
and getting the right people participating at local, state, and national levels. Whether you are right or left or whatever, you shouldn't have the right to bitch if you don't vote.
Right.
You
I
got
agree
to,
with that.
there's my first law. I'm going to be a senator. There's my first law. If you don't
Do
vote, you
it.
can't bitch. You can't bitch about anything.
I think that's a good law. I've voted every single time I had a chance since I was able to vote. Every time. And I don't understand
I have not.
voting.
I can tell you why I never did. I didn't vote. I voted in the beginning because it was, ooh, look what I can do. And then I didn't care anymore. And I didn't care until Trump, believe it or not. I didn't care until 2014, 2015, in that area. I didn't give a shit. I figured what was going on up there didn't affect my life, which I was wrong about. And I didn't get when I put my toe back in the water and started paying attention to politics again, I was disgusted. I mean, utterly disgusted. I couldn't believe what I was seeing and hearing. And I'm not specifically talking about Trump. I'm talking about the whole
Right.
system. Yeah, if you don't vote, keep your mouth shut, Sissy says. Yeah, that's exactly. Do I really I think it's fixable. What if 50% of the country voted? Dear God, that would be double or triple what we're doing now. That would be amazing. Can you imagine? It may not go my way, but I think it would. But, if 50 or 60% of the people voted, yeah, it would make a difference.
But the real problem is there are a lot of areas that there are not two parties active.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
There are a lot of areas where there aren't even candidates on the ballot.
Right. I even saw that in my city this year, in the last few years. There were a couple of, like maybe judges or, board of supervisors or some smaller things.
That's
but there wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a trend that has to be reversed.
Right.
And I'm just saying.
Yeah, and the Electoral College, blow that right out of the water. And
It's the youth. It's time for the
It is.
40.
It
It's
is.
time for the 40 and under
Yep. Take
to
over.
to get off
Yep.
to get into politics, and they're going to be what either saves the country or
Right.
not.
They need to and it's funny, I see a lot more participation. And then I have 5 children in that demographic, and I'm sad to say that maybe 2 of them are paying attention. Maybe 2 out of the 5, and that's with me. That's with
Yeah.
me, telling them, go vote, go, what do I vote for? Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you exactly what you need to vote for. But yeah,
And
that's
see,
just
that's
my
another
family.
thing. That's another thing. There's always this cry, and I'm playing devil's advocate. There's always this cry for, we need to get more voters. We need to get more people involved. But if they're going to be uninformed, if they're going
Right.
to just vote for who, uh,
Then
Rogan or
right.
whoever,
Well, then
if,
shouldn't there be wouldn't it be nice? This is in Georgia's fantasy political world. Wouldn't it be nice if there were grassroots organizations that were not Democratic or Republican or independent or progressive or whatever, that basically their jobs were to go around and, like Georgia did, like the state of Georgia did, hit up
and get
these
people, yeah.
rural areas and tell people about it. And I mean, there were thousands and thousands of people on the ground doing that this year and the last election. And it wasn't just Georgia. I can't remember where the other ones were. I was just like impressed with the numbers in Georgia, but it was done in 3 or 4 states this time. And it should be across the country. Inform the voter.
I'm going to inject a little bit of reality here.
Okay.
In this climate, you go up and knock on somebody's door.
I know.
I'm just saying, I understand. I understand what I'm just, again, devil's advocate.
Right.
Sadly, you're right. Yeah.
The climate we're in, you can't even go in somebody's fence.
Right. You can't go to somebody's yard. Yeah. Yeah. I get it. Then why aren't the candidates informing the people that they want to vote? Because they don't need to. They don't need to. All they need to do is get that.
Okay. When was the last time Nancy Pelosi was challenged in her seat as a Democrat? The same thing holds true for Republicans.
Right.
Greg Pence, the congressman here, he's the congressman because he was Mike Pence's brother.
Right.
That's the only reason. It's not because he's worth a.
Well, and look at Sinema this year. Sinema's going to run, and Ruben Gallegos wants to run against her. Well, Schumer came out yesterday or today and said, we're back in Sinema. Well, why the hell would you back her when she and Manchin are causing so many problems? Go ahead and throw some money at Ruben and get him in there, Why not? It doesn't make any sense for what they say they stand for.
No, it doesn't, does it?
Say they want. And it's not a right or a left thing. It's all of them.
Right. And while everybody's talking about we need to have a civil war and kill the other side so there's peace,
right?
The actuality of it all is we should be elbow deep in political parties and changing those political parties.
Exactly. Why do we have?
That's how you change. Yeah. That's how you change the leadership. But
why do we have 2 or 3?
It's all set up. So none of that can happen. It's all set up by those parties. So none of that can happen.
You know what's weird?
I mean, it is.
I noticed on the last 2 ballots that I've seen from here, there are sometimes 5 different parties listed, and only 3 I've heard of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some, family something, whatever.
There are a bunch of and again, this was years ago. Last time I did a story on it, I think there were 82 political parties recognized in the United States, including the Communist Party and the Nazi Party.
Right.
All you got to do is have a certain number of people, and you can create a political party. It doesn't mean it's going to be successful. It doesn't mean anything other than you have the ability to do it. Now, getting on a ballot, that's totally different than just creating a party. Here in Indiana, the Green Party is not included. Independent Party is not included.
Oh, wow.
And you can, it is Libertarian, Republican, which are basically the same thing, and Democrat. Those are the only 3 guaranteed spots. And Libertarians only guaranteed if they get 2% of the vote each every 4 years.
And why does it cost these somebody did their jobs this year and voted quite a few young people into office, and I can't remember his name, but the poor guy who is sleeping on, it was couch surfing because he can't afford DC rents.
Right.
He's a brand new 24-year-old. Right. I mean, why make it so hard to run? Why make it so hard to get there? Why is their focus have to be on fundraising every week? Why aren't they serving? Why aren't they representing? Yeah.
80%, and I'm being generous, 80% are self-servants, not public servants.
Oh yeah.
And it's probably closer to 95.
I would think so too.
I'm being generous. All right, let's go to the chat for a minute here. Anybody has anything?
Lolo, you're right. You're right, Lolo. People are lazy and they don't research. Yep.
Yeah, totally agree with that. And I think she's agreeing with Mater too.
You can't. That's my law. You put up or shut up, vote or shut up. Get in there and learn what these things are about. Dear God, I read a 75-page book every time. Every time a ballot comes to my house. Go on to Vote Save America. You can put in your state, and they'll give you every single thing that's on the ballot with all the explanations. You don't have to read the book like I do. You don't have to pick up paper like I do. Go to Vote Save America and look up your state, and it shows every single issue and candidate and what it would say in the booklet.
And go meet the candidates, meet them face to face, especially if you're a decent judge of character. Go meet the candidates. And if you find out that some candidate is not available to the public, that should draw questions. Just something to think about.
Yeah, and that's, our representatives here are pretty often out in the areas, and I only find out about it. I guess I need to sign up, for their direct newsletters, because I've only ever found out about them being in my area after it's happened. And I would like to, they're my side, so I feel like I don't have to check on them. But yeah, I do. I need to know.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, you do. We get caught up in sides.
Right. Exactly.
And instead of humanity and anti-humanity, and I think that's how we ought to be framing everything. But who am I? I'm doofus.
Well, and if you're 25 years old and you got a better idea, get in there and jump in.
Absolutely.
Jump in. If all this shit looks as bad to you as it does to us, yes, we screwed it all up for you. Jump in there. Yeah. Jump in there and make it better. It's this way because people didn't care enough to get out there and vote, and they were allowed to run amok. Amok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the chat's going at each other, it seems like.
Are they?
Yeah, it seems kind of like it. I was waiting
I
for
don't
some.
trust I don't trust any of them either, Mater. I don't either. You know, it's hard to at this point. Who would you trust? I wouldn't honestly, and this is a bad attitude to have. If my representatives weren't my party, I would never go sit and listen to a MAGA representative talk to me. And I should. Just as you know, if I had Republicans representing me, it's probably more important that I go listen to what they
It
have to
is.
say when they're in my area, you know.
It really
But,
is. It
but
really
it's
is.
also important that I get my ass out there and hear what the guys that have been in an office for 15 years, just because they're on my side, see what they're saying, you know.
It really is. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we need to hold everyone accountable, and I
But
don't
to a
know. I
person,
don't know if maybe it would take a national strike. It would take a total shutdown of everything in the country to get them to pay attention and to realize that, hey, the country's really serious about public servants being in here, and maybe let the maggots tar and feather a couple of them. I don't know.
I don't know, you know, there should be yeah, there should be consequences. Our problems
In all
our
seriousness,
problems
yeah.
our problems are not with each other. Although we don't believe the same things or want the same things, if somebody bonks me in the head because I don't think the way they do, that's not going to make the government think the way they want them to.
That's
What's
right.
the point of the right killing the left, or somebody uprising against the government but ends up killing, you know, people like me? What the hell good does that do?
It doesn't unless you're successful. If you
Then you
start
get all of them.
a revolution, you damn well better finish it successfully.
There's not enough of them.
I know.
There's not enough of
I'm
them.
not saying there
Yeah.
is. I'm just saying even Ben Franklin knew that. You know,
Yeah.
we either, if we don't win, we'll either all hang together or we'll all hang separately. But we will all hang for revolting against England. And
Yeah.
if you decide, you're going to shoot your mouth off online and you decide you're going to do something, you better well win.
Right.
Just something to think about.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but you're not gonna.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Has
You're not
anybody
going.
been paying attention to what our military gets every year? You see
Yeah.
how much money? No, you're not. Unless you're,
And
even if you're bigger, even if you have more people on your side than the military does, they're still going to strike you down.
yeah, because they got weapons where they only need one or two people to destroy thousands.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Did either one of you happen to see last night's episode with the artificial intelligence pictures?
Cunning did.
I did, yeah. Amazing.
What'd you think about that?
It just unbelievable. It's
Is it concerning to you? Does it kind of freak you out a little bit?
it's very concerning. Very concerning. Yeah. It's beautiful in one way, but in another way it's mostly just terrifying.
Somebody will always find an evil use for something that was made for good.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, the problem is, they're becoming too aware and too independent. Almost. That sounds so horrible, but
they're becoming more autonomous.
Yeah. And I mean, we've all seen the movies. Like we're living a movie right now. This is, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I would love a housekeeper like Rosie. I'm not gonna lie.
A flying car, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. But at what cost? I don't know.
You hop out of bed and you get on the conveyor belt and you get showered and dressed before you get to the kitchen. You know,
Yeah, and the hairdos. My
George,
God,
yeah, the
they put that
Jetsons had
thing
it
over her
right.
head, and yeah, but I don't
I
know.
agree. You'll never hear these words out of my mouth again. Are you ready, Mutt? I agree with Mutt. Mutt says it would seem in many states in this country, folks like myself, the independents, have zero representation. Absolutely. The system, and Tanya says the system is broke. We, the people, are going to change it, are going to change our world, not the government. True.
That's the only way
Absolutely.
it'll
And you can't,
happen.
and Jim says you can't start a revolution from mama's basement.
That should be
my
on a T-shirt.
my concern is now on Match.com or anything like that. I'm going to have the women show me their
Oh,
hands so
dear
I can
God, I
count their
know.
you know.
I
If
know.
you got 11 fingers on there, you're probably not a real person.
Yep. Yep. I was, what's funny is I have this dream of bus life, RV life, van life one day.
Oh yeah.
And so I watch a ton of van and bus and RV people on YouTube. And I just recently found out that one of the places that everybody I watch goes to every winter, and I'm sure you know where that is Chud Central. Like there's a whole campground that's nothing but like Trump flags and this and that. And I'm like, God damn it, we can't even go to the desert. You can't take
I
politics out
did
of
not know
camping.
that.
You can't take
So
politics out of camping? Jesus.
so it's like a Trump or Burning Man kind of thing, or
Yeah. 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 I was
hmm.
surprised because there's a lot of there. Well, in this particular area, there seems to be a lot of it's Quartzsite. There seems to be a lot more older people out there. Some of the other ones where there's the younger kids that are out there van lifing, maybe it's not that way. But Quartzsite, I was like, somebody was taking us on a tour, and I'm like, oh my God, is that a Trump trailer park? And it was.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. I think that's where Sasnak is at now,
he
isn't
is.
it?
He is. I saw him. Yep.
Well, that
I
sounds
saw
about
him on,
right.
I saw him on somebody else's video because a bunch of the people I watch are there out in the outskirts. They don't go to the really crowded places. But in the city of Quartzsite or whatever, I don't even think it's called Quartzsite. But anyway, yeah, Chudville. I was like, damn.
Wow.
Yeah. And I actually follow one girl who says that's why she doesn't go. There are certain places that she doesn't go, certain events that she doesn't attend because of that. And I had never thought of that. I thought camping is camping.
Uh,
Yeah, and chilled, you're right. It's absolutely their right to do that. Yep. And
yeah.
it's my right. And it's my right not to go because I would be uncomfortable,
Well,
you
yeah.
know?
Nobody said it wasn't right to do that.
But
It's just
Beyond a shadow of a doubt, they're gonna have really bad karaoke every night. I bet you. I
and
bet
probably
you.
bad beer too. I mean, come on. Yeah, that's sassy. Courtside is what I was talking about.
do
Yeah.
they still sell do they still sell the white cans with the black letters that said BEER?
BEER.
You
I don't
remember?
know. I remember when the generic stuff
Remember?
first came out. Yeah, I remember that. I never drank that shit. No, no,
Yeah,
no.
well, I didn't either,
I
but
was a Boone's Farm Strawberry Hill girl and Tickle Me Pink.
Girl,
uh,
that stuff will Mad Dog. Oh my God.
no.
No.
Oh, Boone's Farm is like, a whole nother
Strawberry
level
wine.
from
It'll
Mad Dog.
it
Boone's
will
Farm was back in
Boone's
the
Farm will eat
Oh,
through a styrofoam cup, I can tell
to
you.
me, no, 'tis me. I can't read it. I'm not afraid to go. I would choose not to go. That would be like if I wanted to go camping in Washington, D.C., pitching my tent next to 1776. That just wouldn't be any fun. If I'm going to go somewhere, um, yeah, you're right, Lola. We don't need a flag. Right. If
yeah,
I'm going to go somewhere, I want to go where I'm going to have fun. I'm not
right.
I'm not going to camp next to Santa. when I'm going somewhere for recreation and relaxation. I
Yeah, that
hate,
makes sense.
I don't hate the people on the right. I don't even hate red. I don't like it. I don't want anything to do with it. But I'm one of those people that doesn't think we all have to come together and get along. I don't think we have to, but I think we need to be focusing our efforts elsewhere,
Yeah.
not on each other. You
Just
don't. Who
just
am I to
accept
tell
it.
anybody
Yeah.
what they should believe or not?
Accept people where they are and who they are.
Right.
And
Right.
if you don't get along, then stay away from each other.
Right.
Sure.
And you vote, I vote, and let's see who wins.
Yeah.
Why is that so difficult? Why would I need to, fight with, call somebody names in a freaking online chat? Look at Michelle. God damn it! Look at Cunning and I. We were 6 months ago, a year ago, we were completely on opposite sides. And we were talking the other day, and I said, I don't remember what the issue was, but we were talking about an issue, and she said, "Are you kidding me?" She didn't. She really. Oh, it was the cruise thing. We were talking about going on a cruise, and I said, "Yeah, I really don't want to be on a ship with 1,500 people that have COVID. I'm sorry, And she was like, "Yeah, but that's not happening anymore." Well, you know how smart our phones are now. While we were talking, an ad popped up on my Facebook. A news story popped up about a cruise ship that had literally just pulled into a port in Australia with 1,500 people on it with COVID. She's like, "Are you kidding me?"
That's
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
Think about that first ship.
I'll talk about something, and then
Yep.
all of a sudden an ad for it is in my whatever, and I don't know.
Me, I absolutely agree with your flag stance there. Yet because of the way it's been I don't know, because of the way it's been represented in our politics lately, I think most of us that are not righties cringe when we see a group of trucks with flags.
No,
when did it get to be their thing?
Tiz says flying a flag is not who you voted for.
Right.
And if that's the way you look at it, we're not talking about you.
Exactly.
If the shoe doesn't fit, there's no need to put it on.
Yep.
I like Sassy Pants 420's remark about a flag.
Where?
She says, "I have a flag that has rolled joints for the stripes and cannabis leaves for the stars."
Sassy Pants.
That's a great flag.
I believe she would. I believe she would.
I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, I don't know. What's the answer? It's not 1776. What's the answer? It's not Georgia and Cunning out on an RV. It's we the people. It's everybody.
I think us in an RV could be an answer to something.
I think it could be too. I think we could change the world, honey.
We could change our world for sure.
Definitely.
It's going to happen.
Barry, you can still be. I think you can still be agoraphobic in an RV. You just drive it and you don't get out of it.
I can do that.
We'll swing by and pick up Barry.
Yes, swing by. Yeah, at least yeah. As long as it's not on Bubble Bath live stream night, because I can't miss that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't think we'll have a bubble. I don't think we'll have a bathtub in our RV. Although I was watching a bus tour the other day, and this girl had a 6-foot tub in her bus.
Got to have a clawfoot tub in the RV now.
You got to pay. You got to have shit tons of water on board to do that. You got to have a big bus.
We can do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, off our
Anyway,
subject.
yeah,
But yeah,
there's
it's not. That's not the answer. These little tiny itty bitty revolutions, wannabe revolutions. It's not the answer. Lashing out at each other is not the answer. The real problem is the federal government. Take your concerns to the government by voting, by talking, by asking them questions, by whatever you need to do to make yourself feel better,
yeah, within reason. We don't want any hang Mike Pence, even though,
No, but you've got a
yeah,
real issue in your area. What are you going to do? If something really is really important, you're going to go to your local level. You're going to go to your city council or your board of super, whoever it is. You're going to go and you're going to say, look, this is really, really wrong, blah, blah, blah. You may not get anywhere, but you may start a conversation. It's better than just screaming at the walls, screaming at the void, whatever.
yeah, rage at the machine.
Right. Me yelling at Mater isn't going to solve anything.
No, no.
Mater yelling at Jeff isn't going to solve anything. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Barry,
Yeah,
I need to tell you that your hair looks amazing tonight.
it does.
I just wanted to let you know.
I
Yeah.
know. What's with all these good hair days you're
Thank
having?
you. I don't
What's
know.
Pretty.
It's
Practically angelic.
It's luxurious. It's luxurious.
Lori was
It is.
tell-
It's luxurious.
Lori
Yep.
was telling me last night I had to do something. I had to take a shower and do a live stream in the shower so that everybody could see the water going through my hair. And
Oh my God. I would rather see you like after and blow drying it and putting product in it and telling us what you used to get that beautiful hair.
I don't have a blow dryer and I don't use
I'm
any
voting
product.
on the other one. No, I like the first idea
would.
actually.
You would.
When I was in high school, I would drive to school after showering in the morning, drive to school, and I'd put my head out the window and just air dry my hair, and I'd just shake it, and however it falls, that's how it falls.
Every woman in your high school hated you. We spend so much time.
Actually, not every woman in my high school, because a couple of them like that $3.25 Boone's Farm out by the lake.
There you go.
And, yeah.
I knew it. I knew it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Mater, you're right. Mater, are you behaving in there? Nobody's yelling at you. I just use you because Mater, I just use you because you're always there. And Jeff, so what if he's a douche? So what? Yelling at him isn't going to change anything. Mater, are you a douche? Come on. I'm a bitch. Yelling at me isn't going to change my mind.
I love the fact that Lolo is positive.
Lolo is not
I'm
only
very
positive.
sincere.
Lolo is not only positive; she's informed.
Oh,
Lolo
yeah.
is an informed woman. Lolo knows whereof what she speaks.
Yeah.
Seriously. And that's why I like, Lolo when Lolo does. Yeah, it's funny to listen to Lolo too because she's, got a great voice.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Watching Lolo take edibles or whatever, but Lolo surrounds herself with way smarter people even.
Yes,
she's
that's
a smart
another
woman.
thing.
Yeah,
But she's
a
got
smart
smart people in her chat too.
Yep. Not just us rubes, she's got the smart people that pay attention.
Now the day that she ate the edible and missed 3 of the votes in Congress, that
was awesome. Epic.
Wait, what number are we at?
Yeah.
Hey,
we're at 5. Or is this our second vote? No, this is 5.
Smart people are the best, Lolo, and that's why Lolo needs to be back on Twitter because I was learning so much in Lolo's Twitter spaces, and they took her away.
Lolo's banned from Twitter?
She's been banned.
Oh,
For a long time.
I don't go on Twitter. And actually, I haven't been on Twitter in like 2.5, 3 weeks since I, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be back on there. I'm not banned or anything.
Lolo had a great group of people, and they were funny and smart, and they didn't always they didn't always talk about the 1776ers. They had lots better things that were more important to talk about, like Mike Flynn and how scary he is.
He is.
Yeah. I mean, oh yeah, you're on Mastodon? Oh. I tried. I downloaded it, Lolo, but I never went back. I'm stuck on Twitter. I guess I'm old. I need to fix that.
There was a name, and it just popped back into my head. Juan Saban. Has anybody heard that name?
No.
Juan Saban. He was one of the big wigs in QAnon. And I just wonder what happened to him. It might have been Juan O'Saban with like.
Oh, I don't know. I hope most of those people are back underground where they've been for a really long time. Because that's some scary delusional bullshit right there.
I actually heard that he's
Nick
hanging out with
Nate Mater, not Nick Saban. And don't say the devil. Mater, don't say the devil's name in front of me. I'm from Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana. Don't say Nick Saban. That's bad.
Yeah, he's doing those Aflac commercials now with Prime. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Nick Saban lost his offensive coordinator because he's going back to the New England Patriots.
That football team, they're freaking beasts. They're machines. They're not even men.
Alabama?
Fuck yeah. Yeah. He's a coach, man.
The whole SEC. I mean, the SEC's got a lot of beast teams in it. Georgia, obviously, 2-time national champ. Bama, Tennessee.
Yeah, but Bama's consistently.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah.
LSU goes up and down based on coaches a lot of the time. But Nick Satan, as we called him, because he left Louisiana, and you don't leave. Nobody leaves LSU unless we kick you out. But they're not even men; they're machines.
We're coming up on 2 hours here. Do we have anything? We have anything coming from the chat?
I do not. I've covered my list. Cunning, you got anything?
Miss Cunning?
I was going to recite my favorite dirty limerick, but I'll wait for next week.
Oh, please do it.
Oh, no, we've got time.
No.
Oh, no,
it's okay.
I want to hear it.
I want to hear it. Oh, my God.
Peer pressure.
Hold on a second.
God. Okay.
Wait a minute. I got something from Tanya here.
Oh, wow.
Juan O'Saban is in trouble for trying to start a civil war. His real name is Brian Nell of DARPA.
DARPA?
Wow.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised. The stuff I heard from him and the stuff I played in episodes back then. Wow. Okay, let's hear the limerick.
Come on. I've heard it before. It's not that bad. Tell it.
And it's not.
I'm shy now.
I'm not blowing Tanya off. I'm going to cover this. I'll cover this tomorrow night. I'll dig into
it. Do it. You know you want to do it. Everybody's doing it, Cunning.
Okay.
Peer pressure.
Okay.
This is a man from Nantucket. No.
This is my favorite. There was a young man from Glass whose balls were made out of grass. When jangled together, they played stormy weather, and sparks shot out of his ass. Yay!
I like that.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all.
Bum.
Yeah. I may have to start working on getting Cunning Stunt in the bathtub with me instead of Lori Arnold.
I will wear my purple wig.
Oh, dear God. Shall I leave you two alone? Lord have mercy.
Oh, that was
Lottie,
funny.
Lottie, Lottie.
Oh, that was funny. Oh.
All right, guys.
All right. That's a good one to end it on.
Yep. Thanks for having us again.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you ladies so very much.
We did think that it would be a lot more fun one day to just do stupid news.
Yeah.
No 1776. Just
okay. Let's
across
do
the country, the stupidest fucking news we can find.
Let's do that next Wednesday night. And
oh God, can we do it, Cunning, or do you think we should stick with 1776?
I'm going to say,
no, there's a lot of good stupid news.
Yeah, barring something major from 1776 or from the from Ant or AP or Lori or the main core group, barring anything major from any of those, we will do stupid news next Wednesday night.
Stupid criminals, stupid laws, stupid animals, like stupid pet tricks on Letterman.
Yeah, and if you've got video clips, we'll run them, whatever.
That'll be fun.
That's gonna be fun, yeah. And you never know. Probably 76. 76 is bound to have at least one stupid thing. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thanks for having us, Barry.
Right.
Thanks,
Thank
y'all.
you, ladies.
Thanks again, Barry.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cunning Stunt and GA from CA. Oh, yeah. Okay, there you go. Next Wednesday night, we're going to be doing crazy, stupid, dumb, doofus news. As long as, nothing major's happened, that's what we'll do next Wednesday night. That's what we'll be talking about. Tomorrow night, it's game night. Thursday night, game night. And we'll have a couple of games lined up for tomorrow night after we talk about whatever it is that draws our attention between now and then. If you got something you'd like to talk about, you want to be on the show, email me, americandufus@gmail.com. And if you'd like to help the show out, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you want to help out financially, Cashapp is $AmericandUfus, AMERICANDUFUS, all one word. And again, if you want to, you got something you want to talk about, email me, americandufus@gmail.com. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tupelo. Thank you, Sassy, GA, Cunning. Love y'all. Thank you, Sassy. Hot Mess Summer, the real deal. Is anybody live? Anybody live? Cash at me, ho. Oh, Mater, thank you for being here, man. Thank all of you for being here. I don't know if anybody's live or not. If they are, I may see you in somebody's chat later on tonight. It's getting kind of late for me. Jungle Jane, thank you for being here. Summer's live. Okay, everybody, those of you that are looking for a place to go, Hot Mess Summer is doing it live. Thank you, Annie. Come on over, everyone. Hey, Sissy, can you drop a link in there real quick before I shut down? I'm live. I got a new toy. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah, Summer, you can put the link up. You're a mod. There we go. There it is. Hot Mess Summer. I'm going to go ahead and, well, no, I'll be over there in a little bit because I got to do a couple other things first. Thank you all, sincerely. I love y'all. I appreciate everybody that's watching, no matter where you're at, no matter what time you're watching. If you're watching live, watching on replay, thank you for doing so. No matter where you're at in the world, no matter where you're at, we may be on total opposites of the political spectrum, the religious spectrum, the humanity spectrum. I sure hope we aren't, but I still love you anyway. Still want good for you. I still wish you peace, positive vibes, and love. Namaste. Shalom. 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 Assalamu alaikum. Blessings be upon you from the Most High. In the name of his Son, Christ Jesus, and the power of the Holy Spirit. For my fellow Christians. I love y'all. Sincerely. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow night, game night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Doofus After Dark on the American Doofus channel. Until then, peace. It's a dark world. Try to be a light. I love y'all.